AM Prime and WESN, the content capital, is pleased to partner with North Coast Jazz and Heritage Festival 2023. Now, through that partnership, we're able to welcome some of the performers that will be gracing the stage in Blanchisseuse on the 27th of May. In fact, this morning, Sun, Sea, and Seraphim. Yes, we're talking to Krisson Joseph. He's with us in studio, actually. And we have a bit of a surprise for you this morning, just later on. But, Mr. Joseph, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for welcoming me.
Well, I must first ask, Seraphim, that nickname is rather intriguing. Yeah. What is the meaning behind it? How did you even acquire such a name?
Okay, so the Seraphim is actually a biblical figure. It shows up primarily in the book of Revelation as a fiery figure that gives protection, so an angelic figure. And I wanted, when I decided to get fully involved in the music industry, to have some sort of reminder for myself, you know, to keep my spiritual moorings. So I chose that name.
But that fiery character that you described, is that also transcended into your music?
I like to hope so. I would not say that I'm generally I guess, you know, in the way you would say that Bunchy Garland is a fiery figure, I'm a bit more reserved. But musically, I think I do bring a certain energy that I hope translates to audiences.
So where did you start, Mr. Seraphim, in terms of what was your initial preferred music? I know that right now there's a fusion of Calypso, obviously folklore, jazz, R&B. But from what I understand, you're the son of a legend, and you yourself are a legend in the making, right? So this is Penguin Jr., actually.
Yeah.
Your father was the mighty Penguin.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So my beginnings definitely are Calypso and folk. I grew up in the Laventille area. My father, as you said, Penguin, so Calypso is always around. My uncle is also passed, Roland Gordon, who is a legend in the folk business, you know, around Malik Folk Performing Company, Barataria, all those. So I've always been around those things. So that is really the genesis of my coming into entertainment. It's just being around them and being around their peers and just really getting a true appreciation for what Trinidadianness could mean in the entertainment space.
What Trinidadianess?
Yeah.
In your eyes as an artist, I mean, you grew up, you know, with a family of musicians in the United States. So, two questions. One, would you say that music comes naturally to you, or is it more inspirational in terms of family ties? And two, Trinidadianness, what is that in your eyes? Okay,
so in the first instance, with respect to whether it comes naturally, I don't know if it comes naturally. It has just always been around, so I've had the opportunity to dive into it. I suppose I do have a natural inclination, but I think that you still need to feed it in order for it to develop in any meaningful way. Trinidadianness, I think, is something that we as a nation are yet to fully understand, which I think, honestly, is one of it's probably our major issue as a nation.
That is a very interesting take.
We often hear people talking about a lack of unity and how unity would make this place so much better, and I agree. But it's difficult to have unity when we don't have a central belief that we all hold, that this is what it is to be a Trinidadian and a Tobagonian. This is what we are. This is who we are. So that in different spaces, it means different things. which in and of itself is not bad. But I think all those different spaces still need to converge on a thing. It's like, this is who we are.
Would you say that, I'm often of the opinion that unity exists when there is certain events. Carnival, you see great unity. You even see unity through sporting events. Trinidad is playing, if West Indies is playing. But would you even say that through music, something that we all share, whether it be through different genres, there is a great appreciation for music. It's part of our history and culture.
For sure.
When you go on stage, would you say that in itself creates unity?
I certainly hope so. Insofar as incidents, or I almost want to say one-off situations where we have something to galvanize around, it's great. And music definitely creates situations where we have something to galvanize around. It's almost like going back to some earlier, simpler time where families would sit around a fire, and this is the time that we are, having that opportunity to share. And I guess North Coast Jazz creates a situation like that where we go into a community and we sit together around this event and share, these are some of our stories, this is who we are, and have that opportunity to really create community and build upon the community that we have.
I've interviewed many musicians, but each perspective is different, and it certainly opens up my eyes a bit more. But it also shows that, and especially what you're saying this morning, we face a lot of difficulties by our own hand. It's easy to resolve, and even you suggesting that a simple thing, such as North Coast Jazz, does a tremendous effort in even bringing us all together. Your company, if I'm not mistaken, is it WI Griot?
It's Caribbean Griot music. So
Caribbean Griot.
I use the WI West Indies sometimes, but it's the Caribbean Griot music.
Would you refer to yourself as a griot? For people who don't understand what a griot is, it's when we had all those Calypso tents, when Carnival now was starting and evolving. A griot was the individual who called the people to come together and really initiated the Calypso, which was a form of communication, a form of ventilation, I suppose. Would you describe yourself as a griot? Absolutely.
I think, by the time the griot got to Trinidad, the griot became known as a chantwell.
Yes.
But I went even deeper into the roots to the griot. Yes, I think it's the responsibility, especially of every person who wants to be identified as a Calypsonian at any point, at any level, to take on that responsibility of being a griot, to tell the stories, to tell the histories, to build community. So absolutely I do. And that's why I put the name in the name of the company, because the work that the company does needs to build upon that understanding of who the griot is and what the griot needs to impart onto the community.
Well, I understand what value you see in North Coast Jazz. I mean, you highlighted that earlier. But what are your hopes? What do you hope to achieve whilst they're performing on stage? And what can we look forward to as an audience?
My hope in every performance is the same. Whether it's North Coast Jazz or a backyard or Queen's Hall, it's just to communicate with people. First and foremost, I want to communicate. I want people to feel something, to feel moved by something, to be moved happy, to be moved sad, to be moved angry. Just something needs to change in you as a result of experiencing my performance.